Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bishop, your host, and you're watching Tengaged Confidential, your source for news, information, tips and tricks, and anything else related to Tengaged.com. I'd like to start today's show with a public service announcement. Don't share IP addresses with anybody else. I love Tengaged.com. I play it at work. I play it at home. I play it on my Kindle. I recently invited coworkers to play the game. One of them actually joined and was playing at the office. Hence the shared IP address. So, don't share IP addresses. Invite as many people as you want, but tell them to play at home so that you don't get the wonderful red nose. Today in gossip, I was reading through some of the blog entries and I came across Zed's entry, which he talks about how Super Freak drew his name on her breasts and sent it to him to use as his blog photo. He goes on to suggest that Super Freak is willing to do this for any player who wants it. Just email her. I then went to Super Freak's blog, where she replies to the public saying that she is in fact a he and posts his photo. He says that this was a prank by his good friend Zed. He thought it was funny, so at least he's being a good sport about it. Speaking of Zed, he also blogged that he's about to enter his milestone game. For those of you who don't know, a milestone game is your 100th, 200th, 300th, etc. game in Tengaged.com. A lot of times, other players will take the fall so that this player can win that game. So, stay tuned for his upcoming games and bet on Zed. In other news, the news itself is becoming a hot topic. As you know, I'm not the first to make a Tengaged TV show. King Mac had a popular show a while back which has been discontinued. Many fans informed me that he focused too much on himself rather than the rest of the Tengaged community. So who else is out there right now? Well, there's Heavy Rain, who just started a weekly newsletter, and there's also Zach with his Tengaged 101. After reading Heavy Rain's blog entry and noticing striking similar news layout, I decided to invite him to become a permanent member of the Tengaged Confidential crew. I plugged his blog entries so that he could get some fanfare. Apparently this bit me in the ass, as now he's changed his mind about joining the show. He copied the layout for my show and marked it as his own. I think it's kind of jacked up, but I will try not to hate. The more info about Tengaged that's out there, the better it is for us all. There's also another cat out there named Zach, who just started a show called Tengaged 101, which mainly focuses on predicting game outcomes and betting. Personally, I like the show, and I think you guys should check it out. So, you guys know who's out there. Check out all these other guys, get as much information as you can, but obviously watch all of my episodes first. Today's Crazy White Belt goes to Katniss. Katniss is 17 years old and a huge fan of Hunger Games, which is a series of novels by Suzanne Collins. She loves Tengaged because of the escapism. She says after a hard day of school or work, people can come here to get away from it all, make new friends, play a game or two, or three, and just have fun. She really feels that Tengaged is a separate part of her life, even if it isn't a major part of her life. One of her favorite people on the site is Nagaroo. She says she's known Jake for over a year now, and he's one of her best friends on the site. She says she hates players who take the site too seriously, take what she says too seriously, or are just plain rude. She says she knows she comes off as rude sometimes, but it's only because people piss her off, or she's just trying to have fun. She said she's not out there to become famous, but on Tengaged, but she says she's just here to have a good time. She said something humorous that happened to her recently happened to her yesterday. She said she was dead set on assuming that all games on Tengaged were slow and destined to be slow. She was wrong. She managed to join not one quick game, castings game, but 5. She said on American Idol, if she were ever on there, she said she'd probably be too obsessed with J-Lo to do anything about singing or otherwise. Well, whether you like it or not, you're probably going to be a Tengaged star after this. Today's player spotlight is Michael Fisher. Michael Fisher has been playing Tengaged since April of last year and has recently become a ranked player. He says he owes his success to some awesome friends and a lot of boredom. He only is 5 karma away from silver rank and says he's going to post a great blog to celebrate when he accomplishes this mission. He says he is both competitive and religious as he plays church league basketball in the real world and displays the cross within his Tengaged bio. He says that his religious beliefs have affected his game style and that it prevents him from getting into arguments with irrational players. He says he relates best to Survivor superstar Rupert, and that one thing he regrets most in Tengaged was voting off Phillies fan in a Survivor game. Well, good luck to you, Michael Fisher, in obtaining silver. We'll all be watching. Today's Top 10. Today's Top 10 will be the things that get you evicted. Number 10. PMing everyone in the game asking for an alliance will get you evicted. Number 9. Having multis in the same game will get you evicted. Number 8. Being overly inactive will definitely get you evicted. Being overly cocky will get you evicted. Winning a majority of the POVs will get you evicted on the days that you're not POV. Backstabbing everyone will definitely get you evicted in this game and in future games. Picking on new players may get you evicted. Excessive cursing or vulgar language could get people to dislike you, which could get you evicted. Sucking at microgames, like myself, could get you evicted. And eating all the foodstuffs in Survivor, but not hunting yourself, could get you evicted, like Norris. The group of the day is Murderous, which is a murder mystery RPG where 20 players take on the roles of teenagers trapped inside a mall with a killer. Each day, they try to figure out who the killer is and evict them. If they don't complete this by 6 days, they've all died. What I found most interesting was that the narrator gives situations each day in which the players can try to uncover clues or react. It's very interesting, very different from what I've seen in other group games. So you guys should definitely check this out. It's group number 1618, called Murderous. If you're interested in being featured on Tengaged Confidential, please ensure that you put your name in a comment under the appropriate blog under my blogs. I've set one up for Player Spotlight, Crazy White Belt, and Group of the Week. If you guys have tips, tricks, news, or strategies, please send those in email to me. Do not send me requests to save you in polls. I don't spam people, and I prefer you don't spam me. If I know you, go ahead and send it to me, and I'll plus you on your polls, but otherwise, don't send me anything in the email unless it's related to the show or related to me personally. Thank you.